Hello.
Hey.
Right, some of my stuff's new tonight, and comics always say, right, that you should practice until you can pull it off. Earlier today, I nearly wanked myself into a coma. I used to be religious, right? I'm not anymore. But I you know, I used to go to church, and I stopped because the priest's cock tasted horrible. And people say that the Bible's a good book, right? But there's some bollocks. There's some bollocks in the Bible, right? There's some absolute bollocks. Like if you've ever read the Bible, right? Timothy 2:12, right? I permit no woman to teach or have authority over men. She is to keep silent.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Fuck that. I like a woman to be vocal in the bedroom. So I'm just thinking about a woman being vocal in the bedroom, and I got slightly distracted there. And I'm not wearing one tonight, but I like wearing extra large t-shirts, right? Because then everyone comes up to me and says, Tom, you look like you lost weight. And I thought, fuck all, it's brilliant. And it really pisses people off. It really pisses people off who've worked hard to lose weight, you know. You know, oh, what was it? You know, they do get jealous because like people I work with are always whinging about diets, right? You know, and oh, how did you get so thin? Eating cake. They go fucking mad. It's brilliant. You know, it pisses them off no end, and it's just the best revenge for their constant undermining of my self-image. Fuck them. Not so funny, but just it's true. Yeah. Last time I was here, I did a true story, right, about a bloke who got covered in shit in Romford. Some of you, is there any of you who's not heard it before? Hang on. I've actually got the story on my phone. I've got the story on my phone. Bear with me a second. Bear with me a second.
Put your hand down.
This was in the Romford Recorder, right? Right, true story. Right, the headline was Alex in poo drama. Right, this is fucking direct quote, direct from the Romford Recorder. A student is fuming after his clothes are covered in poo when he unwittingly dashed into a smeared and vandalised cubicle in the Liberty Shopping Centre, Romford. Unlucky Alex Lyons of Mansa Way, Raynham. See, I don't even have to write punchlines. This is an actual story. And you're like walking through Romford for 20 minutes on a Christmas shopping spree before realising his jacket and jeans were caked in the brown stuff. He's now angry that bosses at the Liberty will not pay him compensation for his spoiled clothes. Alex, who is studying at the Stratford campus for the University of East London, well, he's not anymore, this is an old story, I just really fucking don't like the guy and I've just been keeping it going. Said, it's totally ruined my clothes. I want my clothes back, and new ones at that. Why the fuck would you want back the old ones? I really don't know. I can't wear them again, not after what happened. When I got home, I was feeling physically sick. But not when he was covered in shit. He waited until he got home to feel sick about it. The incident happened when Alex dashed into the toilet to grab some tissue paper for a runny nose. Now, I don't know about you lot, right, and I don't want to make any assumptions, right, but if you walk into a toilet cubicle, right, to get a bit of tissue paper, and it is covered in shit, you go to another cubicle. You know, that's sensible, isn't it? You don't sort of go, right, hang on. Just got a bit of an itchy back. Yeah, there we go. That's sort of. He then continued with his shopping, and it wasn't until 20 minutes later that he sat down on a bench and noticed a bad smell and brown stuff on his jeans and jacket. It gets worse. You're thinking, Tom, how can it get worse? He said, I just bought some chocolate and thought it was leaking out of the bag. But then I smelled it. and it was all over me. After going back to the toilet, he complains to the janitor, who lent him a spare uniform to go in. The centre kept his ruined clothes. Said, Alex, I had to wear their work uniform, which I still have. Give it back, for fuck's sake! It was nice of the janitor to help me out. Even the security guard grimaced when he saw the state of me.
Come to my place.
Was that where it happened? No, never mind. You can tell us about it later. We'll get you up in a minute for the follow-up story. Whoever used the toilet before me must have spread faeces all over the floor and walls. I only popped into the toilet to get some tissue. I was there for seconds. It's disgusting. Fucking right it is. A Liberty Centre spokesman was unavailable for comment on the matter. Too busy laughing, I reckon. But I found a follow-up story, ladies and gentlemen. Poo Man is on the run. Smearer flees hospital. A homeless man that was facing jail for causing more than £20,000 damage by defecating on trains has done a runner. 20 grand. Like, what was he shitting gold? Like, fucking hell. So awaiting sentence when he escaped from a London hospital on Tuesday. He had earlier admitted charges of causing criminal damage across South London's railway network. Arrested by police in October after he was spotted at Camberwell Green bus garage. Now, you think about it, you think, who's admiring his work? You know what I mean? Who's spotted him and gone, you're the shitter! Loving your work, sir, well done. It followed 22 incidents on trains bound for London Bridge and Waterloo, on which human excrement was found smeared over the seats and tables. I'm surprised it weren't Romford, you know. 3-month campaign of smearing human excrement inside the carriages posed a serious risk to public health. Of course it did. And cost more than 20 grand to clean up. What were they cleaning it up with? £20 notes? £50 notes? Fucking hell. He'd also been charged with possessing an offensive weapon. His arsehole. No, it was a knife. It was a knife. At the time he absconded, he was undergoing a mental health assessment before his sentencing hearing, which is expected to take place later this month. Anyone who's spotted him should call British Transport Police. Why? See, articles like this just raise more questions than they answer, to be fair. It really confuses me. You won't fucking see that on Russell Howard's Good News, I'll tell you. While we're on the subject of true stories, mate of mine went to Vegas, right? To watch boxing, and he was telling me all about it. And he doesn't use a wallet. He doesn't use a wallet, you see. And so he just keeps a roll of notes in his pocket, right? And he went back to his hotel room with this young lady, and she was noshing him off, and suddenly he felt something happen in his pocket. The roll of notes went up her chuff, and she done a runner, right? Didn't even have the common decency to finish him off, right? And he was telling me about it, and the bit that really got me, the bit that destroyed me, was when he went, she weren't a prostitute. She weren't a prostitute, Tom. Oh, yeah, alright mate, fucking hell. Oh dear. Another true story, right? Another true story just before I carry on. So a mate of mine works in IT, right? Works for a holiday website that advertises like holiday homes. And there was a bloke that emailed in to complain, right, about adverts from Google, right, advertising porn on the website. And he said, emailed in saying, this is disgusting. Families have to use this website, and it's got these links from Google advertising underage Asian girls. And she emailed back saying, very sorry about that, sir, but Google AdSense only takes results and adverts from what you've been searching for on the internet. He didn't email back. I actually read a police report earlier. Stuck in there anyway. Never mind. I read a police report earlier, and it said it was about this guy. He got arrested, and apparently he had a thing for crashed out cars, right? And he'd take his missus to old crashed, burnt out cars, and he'd get her to lay there all splayed out and roll her eyes back in her head like she'd been found in a crash, and then he'd shag her. Right, it was like some roleplay thing they do, because I don't know, maybe he spent too long on the internet and nothing got him hard anymore. Right? The only problem is, the coppers turned up. And he had to try and convince them that she weren't dead and she was actually his girlfriend. You know, we've all been there, haven't we?
Yeah.
No? Let's get back to the jokes then, right? So, N-dubs, I was listening to N-dubs the other day, and I thought, they're actually quite good, aren't they, N-dubs? When you throw their CDs in the bin, I'll listen to that all day. Mate of mine the other day, he said, Tom, you need to get in touch with the feminine side. Easy for him to say, he's a post-op transsexual. Alright, speaking of pornography, as I was just a minute ago, I like a porn film to be a bit old school and have a bit of a story before they get down to the action, you know, a bit of a story, like an interview detailing the star's poor life choices. So, one of the other things as well, occasionally I get a bit nervous, right, and sometimes I stammer when I'm nervous, and because I don't normally stammer, people don't realise they're being so insensitive when they say, spit it out. So, really ruins the mood of an orgy, I can tell you that. Couple of pieces of advice for you before I leave. My dad always said to me, Tom, always use protection. I felt my lack of social skills works perfectly. Another mate of mine, he said to me, Tom, always do to others as you would like them to do to you. I lost count of the amount of blowjobs I've given in the last week. And a piece of advice for all the blokes in the audience, right? People see a comedian on stage and they think, oh yeah, I'd like to give that a go, you know, it must be good, like, must be a good laugh. I was having a word with you earlier about it, it's like I said, chatting about comedy. And people say, oh, you must get a lot of women, right? But don't do it. Don't do comedy thinking you'll pick up women, right? Because they expect you to still be funny when you're off stage, yeah? Now, do any of you realise how fucking difficult it is to tell a joke while you're getting a blowjob? I'm serious. 3 blokes walk into a bar, and the first one says, oh my God, that's amazing. Second one walks up to the bar, he says, sorry. No, he doesn't say sorry, love. That's afterwards when he shot his load in the mouth, but never mind. Second bloke walks up to the bar and he says, oh, you're going to have to slow down. And the third one just says, there's a tenner, don't tell my wife. Cheers, I've been Tom Mullen, thank you very much, it's been a lovely crowd.